back to the studio, Ryan A.K.A BloodShot Airbrushing. And we are back for the final installment of the Chrome for the Dragster Project. And I know you guys have been waiting for this one, rubbing your hands together. If I had two hands, I'd rub them together. Might not work. And just waiting to see how this all wraps up. It was a couple months ago, so I already know. It was good. Alright guys, so we're going to get back into it. We're going to wrap it up today. The hood scoop, what you see behind me, is going to kind of be a bonus video that's going to come afterwards. It's a little different. We're using one-shot paints, so it's definitely not the same way I painted the Dragster. So it might be a standalone video. I might include it with the playlist. We'll see how that all goes. But either way, it's going to be a bonus, some quick lettering, and a how-to. Alright guys, let's get back to the shop and wrap up this bad boy. Alright guys, Monday morning, and we are officially in overtime. Hoping to wrap this up on the weekend. Took a little longer than we thought. So much masking. But we're getting there, guys. I'm pretty happy with where she's coming. Just got some highlights, some here's and there's. Got to finish the fin chrome. And then a bit of blue. And then I get to go back home. Back to bed. Alright guys, let's get back to it. And what better place to start than right where we left off. So here you can see we masked off that center line again with the 16th inch pinstripe tape. And this is gonna save our bright white highlight till the end. And you can see me using my straight edge shield. I know I called this a stencil in my last video on this one. That's technically a shield. Yeah, I don't know. Stencil, shield, basically give you the same output. They're just blocking paint while you are spraying another area. Either way, now you guys see I've got my bottom edge darkened, so now I'm starting to bring some tones to my top edge. And this shape actually goes from a center bevel to a bottom bevel, so that kind of makes a weird transition on the original chrome piece. So we got to represent that in what we're painting. And again, you guys kind of see paint, well, for lack of a better term, I guess it's kind of like a ripple pattern where they're kind of linear lines that radiate from a center point. Nice and soft, although they're lines, they're still fairly soft. I don't have any harsh edges. I'm not using my shield. I'm just kind of blending them soft from one way to the other. And here you see for the top edge, we did it a little differently, master out, and then instead of using that shield, I taped it all off, and I don't know, guys, it's kind of the same thing, same sort of effect. One is a little bit better for novice sprayers. When you have the tape up there that we just pulled off, then that shield is out of your hand, and you can kind of two-hand your airbrush, which gives you a little bit better control. Using just a shield is a little bit quicker, I think, but it may not be the cleanest way to do it. And again, especially if you're just starting out. And as you kind of saw for my linear lines that kind of radiate from my top chrome trim here, I started going in the same direction as I had on the bottom, and then I kind of figured, no, we should taper this kind of like an arrowhead, so it's fighting against one another. And again, these are just one of those things that tricks the eye to make it look like the surfaces are bouncing that light off of different angles. I hope that makes sense. And because this top trim takes a little bit of a dip down the side and goes from horizontal to vertical, well, we got to put a little horizon line in there to represent our horizon as well. And you'll see me darkening up a little bit right here. And again, it's just a small area, so quick little shield to get in your base. And then you can freehand and blend it out from there. And it's at this point, guys, where I'm going to ask you if you feel any sense of panic coming out of this dude before you. I mean, minus the whole sped up footage and all. Even though I am a day behind schedule, and I know this, I'm on a Monday morning, and I wanted to have this wrapped up Sunday night. It didn't happen, but do you see me? Do you see me like stressing? Here I am using my thumb as an eraser again, because my paint got a little too wet as I built it up in too many layers too quickly, and this is why I say slow and steady, build it up nice and slow. This isn't a rush, and this is why you do not. I will answer the question for you. You do not feel any sense of panic out of this guy because, man, this is very much like a chess game. And here you see I've peeled up the tape that was blocking off my white highlights and now just giving it all a bit of a wash tone, and we are done and into the blue. But back to reiterate my point. I feel in order to be successful at this type of a job, one must be a critical thinker. And this is where I alluded to the whole chess game. You almost got to be thinking 3, 4, 5, 7 steps ahead. You want to have a solid game plan before you start, have a process planned that you can execute. And if this is something that you've never done before and you're just not quite too sure how to tackle it, then do a test sample. There's no reason for you to be learning on somebody else's dime and making the mistakes, and that's where the stress comes in. And this is why I say, don't panic, guys. It is the long game. You are here for as long as it takes, so why not enjoy the process? I do not consider a life full of mistakes a bad thing. I don't even really consider mistakes, man. If you learn something from that, then it is a lesson, and that's it. It's all just a part of growth. Nobody is born with the inherent ability to do this. And this is a good thing to keep in the back of the brain box, and life will test you. Believe me, you think you got something down pat, and life will start to show you that you don't know jack. I love the saying, the more that I know, the more I realize I know nothing at all. And even at my level, guys, I am still eager to learn. I am pushing myself every day, every project, every time I paint chrome. I want to be better than the last time I painted chrome. I try to learn something from every project I do. And back to the blue. Got a little bit off topic there, but it's all good info to take with you. Stuff it in the brain box. So with my blue, as it's basically just a representation of the sky coming down to meet the horizon, I'm going a little heavier at the top and then blending that on down. Making sure to save those white highlights and building it up in multiple layers. I think I say this in every video I have. Take your time. It's not a race. What you see here is a full 8-hour day condensed into a 20-minute video. And guess what, guys? It's Christmas time! Well, pretty darn close. This is my favorite part of any project, is the reveal. Of course, I have a decent idea of what this is going to look like, but you never fully know until that paper is three-pointer, until that paper is removed, that tape is taken off, and you get your first glimpse on how it all looks in relation to one another. Goal! And that should do for all the rest of the masking paper for the rear end of this thing. Going for a Hail Mary! Oh yeah! And the last thing we're gonna do on this dragster is punch in some highlights. So you saw me testing my paint to make sure my white is coming out at the volume and consistency that I am after, which it was. And then you see me doing a little bit of a dot all up nice and close, and then pull it back as you blend away. And that gives you a nice little starburst sort of reflection. And as you see, I kind of add some reflection lines above it and bring her down the center. And if you listen closely, you can hear one of their customers revving their engines in the background. And we're just going to bring the center reflection all the way down. And it will culminate in, yeah, if you got it, flaunt it. Burn that rubber, baby. So kind of working my way down the middle, doing the same sort of reflection horizon dot on every horizon line that I have going down the center. One of the things that's going to really help in tricking the eye to making it think this is real chrome is having some consistency. So you'll notice I do a little dot on one side and I do a dot on the other side. Whatever I do on one, I repeat on the other, and so on and so forth. And to keep it cohesive, here you see me using the grill and counting out the number of spaces off of center to keep it consistent. If you don't have a gridded out grill like this, you may want to use some measuring tape. And as I get further away from center, I'll start fanning out these reflection lines on each of the chrome horizons. And I guess it's more of a reflection dot than a reflection line, a starburst. Kinda, without the radiating beams. Well, no, it can't be a star, like a sunburst. Yeah, let's call them sunbursts. That makes more sense. Thanks for coming along for that ride. Alright, enough of the shenanigans. Back to work. Same thing here with the white highlights, just smaller because you're in a smaller area. And I guess I should tell you the type of paint I'm using. So this is an opaque white. I've got it thinned out. I'm going to say 75%. 75% water or my cleaning solution, and then 25% paint. I've got it pretty thinned out, and this way again you can do multiple passes. So maybe you try to lay down your dot and it's not exactly where you wanted. Well, that is such a faint little dot, they can move it over a couple millimeters and then start the dot again, and then that original little dot just becomes part of the fade. And with that being said, we are going to sign this puppy. And I just cut a stencil out of an old business card for my logo using a paper towel so I don't smudge any greasy fingerprints on there. And we are done. Oh, hey, wait. That's better. Hey, guys. Day 4. Done. Car, done. This guy, done. I don't typically work these kind of hours back to back, these kind of days, but when you're running in somebody else's booth, you gotta do what you gotta do. You guys wanna have a closer look? I think you might be asking for a closer look. Let me flip you around, show you what I've done in these last couple days. It's been a bit of work. Lots of masking, far too much masking for this guy. Paying bills, man, paying bills. And there you have it. Now again, I am painting this to be a representation of chrome on a sunny day. Hardly a cloud in the sky. When you do your own chrome, you don't have to use these colors. You can do any color your heart desires. This is this is your world. Sound like Bob Ross here. If you want to paint some happy little clouds in your chrome, will you feel free? Because there are no mistakes, just happy accidents. I'm gonna go beat the devil out of my brush. Yeah, you can tell this is my job, but I love it so much that it's hardly work. Alright, let's get on in here. So, quick recap, as chrome is a reflection of its surroundings. We got the sky and the horizon coming on down. You'll notice I added some red, as there will be taillights in this bad boy. And that's what we do, as chrome is a reflection. We've got the horizons, but we've also got the other pieces reflecting off of it. And remember, this is a flat surface, just tricking the eye. And you can see we reflected the headlights off the bumper. Just these added little touches, guys, is what really sets it off and makes it stand out and really, again, fools the eye. That's all we're doing. We're just trying to fool the eye upon first glance to make it think that it's chrome. You even see the emblem reflected off the bottom bumper there. You can see me reflecting the grill off the top. And we haven't put the headlights in yet. But, I'm pretty happy, guys. Let me know what you think of this one, or if there's anything I missed, or if you have any questions. Feel free to drop me a line. Oh yeah, and the last thing to do is to show you guys what she looks like with a fresh coat of clear. Ooh, shiny. And we got the headlights on. I don't know, I think the stickers look pretty awesome. I don't think I could have painted it any better. So we're just gonna say that was meant to be for this little Chevy. And when I said this is the last thing that you guys will see, I lied. We're gonna talk with the customer and we're gonna see if we can't get some video footage of this thing, well, doing its thing on the drag strip. Stay tuned. So good. Until next time, like, follow, subscribe. Thanks for coming along for the ride. And feel free to swing by the Spreadshirt page to grab yourself a BloodShot uniform. The Air Force uniforms are in. And don't forget, guys, beginners tutorials, airbrushing hacks, and plenty of projects. And tell the world the BloodShot Army is here to spray. Cheers.